Right now, though, we're talking about exercise yoga. Now, if you're a yoga enthusiast, I'm sure that you've done yoga in many different and interesting locations, both indoor and outdoor. You get Bikram yoga, you know, where they raise the heat as well and you sweat it out. But it seems that doing yoga on a stand-up paddleboard is attracting quite a bit of attention. So we head on over to Johannesburg to find out what all the fuss is all about.
All over South Africa, people are shifting to an increasingly healthier, outdoors-based lifestyle. And stand-up paddleboard yoga classes on Emmarentia Dam is a perfect example of this.
The very first yoga pose I ever learned was called Salute to the Sun. And while yoga in its many different forms really celebrates peace and serenity, stand-up paddleboard yoga really takes that philosophy to the absolute max because it's practiced in wildly intoxicating environments such as this one. And today, I'm going to give a real salute to the sun.
These exciting classes were started last September, and its popularity has skyrocketed, with loyal attendees declaring they were hooked after the first session.
Susanna, why do you think this has become so popular in South Africa, and what kind of people are attracted to it?
Most people work in offices. So when they go and do yoga, I think they prefer to be outside. And the moment you get onto the water just has some kind of calming effect on most people that practice. And I think that's the main kind of attraction.
While no date can be pinpointed for the origin of stand-up paddleboard yoga, it has an enormous following in North America and Europe. It requires immense concentration to stay on the board, and Tenji did herself proud as a first-timer.
I'm feeling amazing. So it's really true what they say about endorphins and exercise, particularly so when you're in this beautiful environment and there's ducks swimming alongside you and you're just really, really enjoying nature at its finest. But at the same time, you know that what you're doing for your body is great.
The first time I did it, my legs basically felt like jelly. So your body responds to that change, and it's amazing how your body reacts and actually balances itself. So you actually feel more powerful.
The main difference is that you activate from what they call core. But it's basically your entire body. The moment you get onto the board, everything's wobbly. Your body just does this. Whoop, and it goes, okay, if I don't focus and concentrate, I'm going to fall off. You get wet, which is fun. But that's kind of like the main difference, I would say, between practicing on the water and off the water.
For those who prefer the assurance of solid ground, studio-based yoga in its many forms is somewhat different from its water-based cousin.
There are differences between doing yoga outside as opposed to doing it in a studio. Working with water is a big equation, and your whole center of gravity is shifted in that sense, whereas working indoors, you have to ground on the earth and be stable in that. Doing yoga in alternative locations is an awesome thing to do. It also changes things up a bit. I would recommend to have a base in sort of doing it on the ground first, because when you throw in the element of being in an unstable medium, such as on water, it can be really, really tricky. So it's always great to have a solid foundation on the earth, and then I think from there, taking it to water or even just outdoors is a wonderful, wonderful thing to do.
I've tried various different forms of yoga, but I must say this has been the absolute best because it's brought me so close to all those life-giving elements, the wind in my face, the water beneath me, and the sun on my skin. What a fantastic way to start a day.